Meet Mr. Once, my once-in-a-lifetime Ironman account. He's got big dreams of leveling his skills, defeating iconic bosses, and collecting all of RuneScape's best gear. However, for Mr. Once, those dreams are far easier said than done. This is the story of that journey. Last time, on the adventures of Mr. Once, I finished my farming grind at Tithe Farm, and then went to Barbarian Assault with my clan, and managed to get the Fighter Torso. After that, I locked myself to the Catacombs of Corinth, in the hopes of getting a Skeleton Champion Scroll, where I spent 50 hours hoping for that 1 out of 5,000 drop. And I didn't get it. At around 6,000 skeleton kills, I decided I needed a change of scenery. Those purple walls of the Catacombs of Corinth were starting to get to me. So I switched to Skeleton Mages, and now I'm over 7,000 combined KC. Now, as you see in the loot tab on the right hand side, these mages don't drop anything but bones. But at this point I was looking to speed up the scroll process in any way possible. Killing these mages allowed me to double my KC per hour, so basically this is my new home. I think I should probably just order some furniture off Amazon to try and make this place cozier, since I assume this will be my home for a long time still. Hopefully, they deliver to random caves behind waterfalls. You know, I really think a nice mahogany color for the walls would do what... anyways, at around 8,000 kills, I was losing all hope, to be honest. I was checking the OSRS wiki almost daily, just to double check that these mages actually drop the scroll. They do, by the way. They do drop it. Eventually, I welcomed my first guest in my residence. Kuro-sensei came in to try and snipe a scroll from me. But, well, the joke is on him, because neither of us got it. As the decimation continued, I began my weekly stream on Twitch, where the most peculiar thing happened. After 73 long hours, I finally
August
got the scroll.
August is a bad time. What? I got it! I got it! Yes! 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 Oh my god! I got it! I got it! I'm free! I'm free!
Well, I still can't believe that I'm finally free of that cave. I spent 73 hours trading combat and nothing else. So, what now, you might ask? Well, it's time for more combat. I've got some questions to do, but first I need to get at least 30 ranged. So I'm heading over to Hosidius to train on some sand crabs. After reducing the sand crab population a bit, it's time to take stock of the bank and to look at our levels. This will help to kind of lay the ground for the rest of the episode. So, on the right side, you can see exactly what loot I've gotten from the skeletons and the crabs. I collected all of the herbs and most of the runes from the skeletons, as well as a decent amount of the dark totem pieces. From the crabs, there wasn't much, but I did collect a few of the more important things. Now here in the bank, you can see how some of my collections are coming along, such as my herbs and my ores. I'm not quite at the point where I want to use any of them yet, but it's coming, I promise. If we take a look at my levels, we can see some major progress and some very important numbers. I'm now at 65 attack and 65 strength, which when combined is exactly 130. Now, if you're familiar with OSRS, You'll also know that this is exactly the number I need to get into the Warriors Guild and get one of the best upgrades in the entire game, the Defenders. Otherwise, my HP is way up, as are my defense, and now my ranged. With that out of the way, I think it's time to get cracking on some quests. So, let's roll it. With a fully rejuvenated motivation, I proceeded to scour the internet for that one special person. The one who would always come through. The one who would get me the key to the Phoenix Gang hideout so I could finally get this quest over with. I then went deep into some swamp to help a ghost get some magic mushrooms. Ran into the desert to repair some clay golem, who could have probably just repaired himself. I helped the biggest self-important jerk in all of Gillinor. Then I visited my hometown, where everybody is just a methed up zombie and, well, everything is just falling apart. Went deep into a MILF's hole and finished her off with my big wooden stick. And finally, I helped some dudes meet Casper, the friendly ghost. Now, before I get started on the next, well, I'm not going to call it a grind. You'll see what I mean. Before we jump to it, here are a couple clips of me wasting my time during the sand crab grind. Now, what I do next is a prime example of what happens with this account when I don't plan accordingly. I decided to spontaneously go to Lava Dragons to try and get some magic levels so I could start using teleports. I also wanted to try and get 43 prayer with bones, but fate had other plans in store for me.
It's time to duel!
I got PK'd 11 times in 2 days. I started running out of food, I kept losing the bones I was collecting, and overall I hit a crossroads on what to do. After searching through the wiki at the Lava Dragon drops and brainstorming on future prayer training methods and ideas, I decided to quit Lava Dragons. This marks the first time I wasted a training method on this account. Hopefully it's the last. Either way, the next grind was one I was looking forward to since it was going to be a huge boost in the account going forward. Ah, here I am. The Warriors Guild holds the key to one of the biggest upgrades Mr. Once can access right now, the previously mentioned Defenders. Now the way I see it, I have two options for this grind. The first would be that I grind out way more than enough Warrior tokens to guarantee that I get all types of Defenders. This method would almost 100% guarantee that I end up banking thousands of unused tokens that will forever take up space in the bank. However, it's probably a bit more in line with the spirit of this account. Option 2 is that I commit to doing everything I need to do here in one grind and go with a bit more of a lenient approach to the tokens. After a lot of thinking, I'm going to go with option 2 so I don't waste hours of work I could be using on the next grind instead. And let me tell you, the next grind, yeah, it's a doozy. In a surprising turn of events, I stumbled across some good RNG here at the Warriors Guild. I basically stormed through all the defenders upstairs, getting them way under drop rate for the most part. Finally, it was time to head downstairs into the basement for the one and only Dragon Defender. But first, check out the badonkadonk on this giant, yo. This guy must do lots of squats. Anyway, the goal is to leave here with 2 defenders if possible. I'm not too concerned if I only get one of them, but 2 would be a very nice luxury to have. And there it is, my very own red dildo. Now that I have it, let me just equip it. Oh man. Yeah, I need 60 defense to equip this. I'm going to stay here till I get 60 defense and try for a second dildo. If it works, great. If not, I'll still be heading out to my next grind. And here's 60 defense. Unfortunately, no second defender, but that's okay. So with my shiny new red dildo firmly grasped in my hand, it's time to get out of these clothes. I need to head to the next prison, which is guaranteed to be the longest on this account. So far. That's right, Temperos is the next thing on the list. I've been waiting to get to this grind for weeks now. What I do here is going to skyrocket the potential of this account. I plan to spend hours upon hours upon hours upon hours here with my clan, which is open to anyone who wants to join, by the way. I do have some goals for this grind, but you'll find out more about them in the next video. Now let's wrap things up with the usual stat check. Obviously, this was a very heavy combat-focused episode, so all of my combat stats are way up, especially my ranged and magic, of course. I also managed a few crafting, herb lore, and slayer levels through questing and XP lamps. Now the important thing to take a look at is in the bottom right. Mr. Once is nearly at 1,000 total levels, which is huge considering one of the original goals set for this account was 2,000 total levels. In the next episode, I'm not going to only reach 1,000 total levels, I'm going to smash it. So subscribe to the channel today to see the insanity that I have planned for episode 8. And don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed watching it. Alright everyone, that's it for me today. It's time to board the boat to tempt Daddy.